from Dewberry, Tracy Coker. Once again, thank you to Dewberry for the corporate sponsorship today, title sponsorship. We really appreciate it, making this day happen. Thank you to Dewberry.
Good afternoon. Welcome. Before I introduce the mayor, I just wanted to take a moment about why it's important to us to sponsor this event. Peoria has been home for Dewberry since 1954. It's where we live and we work every day, and we're committed to seeing our community grow and develop. Each year we think it's important to reflect on where we've been and where we're going. We like to share this day with all of you and others in the community that are helping to move Peoria forward. We know this is important to you as well, so thank you. It is now my pleasure to introduce Jim Ardis. Our mayor is a lifelong Peorian. He graduated from Spalding Institute in 1977. In 1982, he graduated from Illinois State University with a BS in Industrial Technology. He and his wife, Mimi, have been married for over 30 years and have 3 grown children. I think one of his children is with us today. His community activities are numerous, most notably participating in the Memphis to Peoria Run for St. Jude. 2016 marked his 22nd consecutive year on the 465-mile trek from Memphis. Jim also serves on the board of the St. Jude Midwest affiliate. He's past board president of the Tim Ardis Foundation for Hope and is the founder and chairman of the board for the Peoria Promise. Jim was first elected to the Peoria City Council in 1999 as a councilman at large. He was re-elected to a second term in that position in 2003 and was elected to his first term as mayor in 2005, re-elected again in 2009. In April of 2013, Jim was unopposed and re-elected to his third term as mayor. He was re-elected for a 4th consecutive term in 2017. Please join me in welcoming Mayor Jim Ardis.
Thank you, Tracy. It's like it always happens when I was coming up this afternoon. Somebody gives me some words of wisdom, and I kind of felt like, gosh, I wish you would have told me that a few weeks ago, and I wouldn't have had to spend so much time writing the speech. But a lot of us that know and that come to the Civic Center a lot, Miss Vicki King sits at the desk right at the bottom of the escalator and welcomes a lot of people that come in and out of the Civic Center. And so we get to know each other. And she said, well, are you ready? And I said, yeah. And she goes, well, this should be pretty easy. This really did just happen a half hour ago. She said, this should be pretty easy. Just get up there and say, the state of the city is strong because the citizens of Peoria are strong. So sometimes that acronym KISS means a lot, and so when you leave today, tell Vicki she should have given the speech. So anyway, thanks a lot to the Chamber and to Dewberry for sponsoring the State of the City again this year. I'd like to, all the elected officials that are here have already been acknowledged, but I would like to acknowledge them all again and thank them for their service to our community. I'm honored to deliver the annual State of the City address for, believe it or not, the 13th time. For those of you who may have had an opportunity to attend this event in the past, you may find this year just a little bit different. I've spent a lot of time over the years talking about the CSO, the hotel, tough city budgets, and all that other news that you can either read about or watch on TV. So I'm going to try to put in a few more things this year. I'll do a summary of critical city issues and an update on a big issue that I think we're all concerned about in our community, and that's jobs and employment. This will include recognizing many new startups that you may not be aware of. And I'm also going to concentrate our efforts this year on support for our local businesses and supporting our local businesses first, and really trying to put that in the front of our consciousness every day. To start things off, I have to tell you that it's very comforting to be able to speak this year with a lot of energy and excitement about the recent announcement that OSF purchased the Chase Bank building block and has sensational plans to preserve and renovate the historic building and breathe new life into our downtown and warehouse district. Back in 1905, the original Shipper and Block building was opened and later became Block and Cool. But soon it will be the OSF Healthcare Ministry headquarters. The expected cost to refurbish this historic structure is $90 to $100 million. Several hundred good-paying construction jobs will be created over the next couple of years, and we all know that Peoria has the best skilled tradespeople in the country. Once completed, there will be over 700 employees working in their headquarters every day, and that translates into millions of dollars injected into our downtown every year. This project is critical for attracting and retaining talent for OSF. There are tremendous opportunities for future development of the remaining property on the block, and this project speaks volumes about OSF's commitment to Peoria and the resurgence of a robust downtown Peoria. It's also important to give credit to CEO of Caterpillar Jim Ardis for helping us make that OSF purchase happen. After that news last year, I appealed to Jim to be sure that that block didn't become another vacant Sears block for the next couple decades. And he assured me that he'd work hard to make sure that that block was a productive area in our downtown. And for that, we'd like to thank Jim Ardis. And now that the dust is settled and our local economy is becoming more stimulated, we need to move past the announcements last year. Caterpillar is and will continue to be a powerful force for us. A sturdy Caterpillar is good for us, and we want and need them to remain a strong player here. So we all know we have significant challenges, right? On the top of the list of challenges that we have to deal with in the city, my friends, is pensions. And pension reform simply has to be priority in Springfield. If I sound like a broken record on pensions, it's because I am. If there's one thing, and there's a lot of them, but if there's one big thing that's going to implode our city and our state's budget, it's the unfunded pension liability. In Peoria, it's $300 million. In the state, it's over $130 billion. You guys know me. I'm not a blame person, but the reality is this mess was created in Springfield, and Springfield needs to figure out how to reform it. It's unsustainable, period. Have you noticed that there's a heightened awareness of many other exciting and innovative things happening in and around our community? Let me name a couple. Start with Bradley University. Bradley's Business and Engineering Complex, the home to the Foster College of Business and the Caterpillar College of Engineering and Technology, is enabling collaboration between those disciplines. In this collaboration between engineering and business, the technical nature of engineering connects with a business focus to get the best of their designs. Construction of the $85+ million complex is well underway. President Roberts' leadership in this endeavor is invaluable. The innovative partnership between colleges is not only stimulating from an educator's viewpoint, it's also an economic development engine in our community that will provide enormous value. It will attract and retain top talent to this region in the form of world-class faculty and the best and brightest young professionals. The facility's impressive curb appeal will augment the Main Street corridor, enriching livability in the surrounding neighborhoods and paving the way for additional community revitalization. This forward-looking center will draw attention to our community and elevate the status of our region as innovators in both education and economic development. And don't forget about all those construction jobs that once again will be performed by our outstanding skilled trades workforce. So when we talk about the many assets of our community, too many times we don't give sufficient acknowledgement to Bradley University and what it means to our city. So let's be clear. Bradley University, you are at the bedrock of Peoria's foundation and critical to our future. Thank you for what you bring to Peoria and your continued vision for educational excellence. In case you haven't heard, there's a big game tonight. So we hope we see a real big crowd downstairs for Bradley to keep their winning streak here at home going. Also related to Bradley, though, this year marks the 31st Innovations in Construction, Asphalt, and Transportation Conference, April 9th through 11th. Dr. Amir Al-Kafazi is the founding chair and is responsible for bringing many prominent leaders from around the world to this amazing conference here. One of the major topics of discussion will be sustainable funding for infrastructure, a very important and relevant topic at the local, state, and federal level. Thanks to Dr. Al-Kafazi for all his efforts to bring scholars, business executives, and government leaders from around the world to Peoria, Illinois to engage and find solutions to these many important challenges. While I'm on the subject of education and the institutions that promote enlightenment, civility, knowledge, and essential skills in our fast-paced technological age, it's no secret that Peoria has become a mecca of high-quality educational institutions. We are indeed blessed with the continuing growth of the University of Illinois College of Medicine in Peoria. We're so very fortunate for a robust and relevant ICC. We reap the benefits of an expanded and vital Methodist college. And our private and public elementary and high school give us a definite competitive advantage. And Peoria Public Schools continues to strengthen and pursue public engagement through Alignment Peoria. And the ongoing excellence of Dunlap 323 is another asset in our community. You've all heard me talk about how important education and job training are, so our employers have a high-quality, educated, and well-trained workforce to help them be successful. Providing all of our kids with an opportunity to get a good education is the core function of Peoria Promise. This year marks the 10th anniversary of Peoria Promise. What a milestone for an organization that continues to be 100% donor-funded. Peoria Promise is the only program of its kind in our area. Thanks to Caterpillar, the Chin Foundation, AMT, OSF Healthcare, Unity Point Health, Paradise, RLI, Illinois American, and CEFCU, who have all been corporate sponsors since day one. And many other companies and individuals support the program annually, and we're changing lives and creating opportunities for our kids. In the past 9 years, over $4.4 million have been raised, and over 2,400 students have participated in the Peoria Promise. In addition to supporting public and private school students living in the city of Peoria, the Promise now accepts Peoria residents with a GED or from an accredited home school. Our statistics show that 65% of these students would not have been able to attend college without Peoria Promise. 89% of our students stayed in Peoria because of Peoria Promise. We're proud to say that applications for enrollment grew 24% in 2017, and we expect the same growth in 2018. The 2008 applications for 2018 open tomorrow, February 1st, and close on May the 1st. The event is the annual fundraiser for the Peoria Promise, so please mark your calendars today for October 13th and save the date for a great show again this year. I'd like to personally thank all of our investors and thank you to the Peoria Promise Board of Directors and staff for all their hard work for our kids. How lucky we are to be the home of the University of Illinois College of Medicine in Peoria. For the first time since the university was established in 1970, Peoria campus had 58 first-year medical students this year. Now all the students will spend their entire 4 years in Peoria. That's very good news, not just because of the millions of dollars it brings to Peoria, but also because statistics show that physicians tend to practice in the communities where they complete medical school or residency. Under the leadership of Regional Dean Dr. Sarah Rush, our campus received about $3 million in upgrades, including a new classroom and anatomy wing and new technology. With recent announcements, we're looking at new businesses to keep our workforce employed. One of the greatest assets of the city of Peoria is that there is a vibrant entrepreneurial spirit and small business community. Unfortunately, there's a general lack of some of the resources necessary to propel these startups into becoming larger, growth-oriented companies. We need to work together to find ways to provide these entrepreneurs with access to all forms of cost-effective capital and talented business advisory services. In a large city like Chicago or Dallas, there's a sophisticated network of capital sources such as venture capital and private equity, as well as consultants with considerable experiential depth. Say that one again. This type of support is minimal in our city, but does put our small businesses at a disadvantage as they attempt to grow. So we must figure out how to try and fill that void. So now I'd like to take the next few minutes and give you all a quick glance at some of these energizing new startups in Peoria getting noteworthy attention. And they were featured in the January 2018 IBI, and rightly so. Apsco, autonomous stuff. Bump Boxes, DevBright, Digital Dipstick Company. Eat and Evolve, Mobile Mount, Natural Fiber Welding, the Oakford Group, Salomo, Tada, Unit Track, and VirtueSense Technologies. I wish I could spend time on all of these companies, but time won't allow me to. But I would like to take a couple minutes and just highlight a couple. First is Apsco at Richwoods High School. It's the brainchild of Alexis Kazam. Apsco is a not-for-profit organization providing a fully integrated business learning experience for public school students. Apsco's sole purpose is generating revenues and raising funds for the school district while employing participating students. Their mission is to create a safe environment that challenges minds and fosters mentorship through local business leaders, giving students life skills and business experience critical to shaping their future in the workplace or continuing education. Apsco received expansive media coverage last year, including a story picked up by the Associated Press nationally. They were the winner of the United States Congressional App Challenge at the Peoria Riverfront Museum, and also the winner of the Illinois Bicentennial Video Contest. In 2018, Apsco was approved to expand to other Peoria public high schools, starting with Manual. We expect Apsco will continue to show impressive student impact in the areas of workforce readiness, general business acumen, confidence, soft skills, communication, and student performance. I'd like to recognize the students and mentors from Apsco who are here with us today. Keep it up, Apsco. Next up is autonomous stuff. Folks, if you haven't heard about them, listen up. Probably one of the hottest topics in the innovation space is artificial intelligence and autonomous vehicles. Autonomous Stuff was founded almost 10 years ago by local entrepreneur Bobby Hambrick, who's with us today. Bobby, stand up and wave so everybody knows you're really here. They are the leader in supplying components, engineering services, and software that enable autonomy. They've developed a worldwide brand around providing self-driving technologies to companies ranging from startups to Fortune 100 companies. Check out this short video. Happening right here. Seriously, you guys, write down autonomous stuff when you get back to your office or home tonight. Google it. You'll be astounded by where these guys are. Their fingerprints are all over the world right now. If you happen to notice when you came in, one of the autonomous vehicles downstairs in the lobby right before you come up, if you didn't, notice it when you go out. It's down there. It's one of the cars that they have fitted up with a lot of this state-of-the-art equipment, and it's really neat. Thanks again for Bobby and your wife for being here today. Well, we all know how important the medical community, the education community, and Caterpillar jobs are to our city, but it's important to know that we have and are continuing to build on an impressive entrepreneurial base like these businesses that I've just mentioned. It's not an all-inclusive list, and my apologies to folks that are in that space that I didn't get to mention. But I urge you all to really get to know more about these and others and spread the word about what's happening right here in Peoria. And it didn't just start. It's been happening for a while, but it's really starting to take off. Enthusiasm in our warehouse district also continues to gain momentum and will only get stronger with the state's extension of our historic tax credits for the next 5 years. We need to give special thanks to our local senators and representatives in Springfield who have all been strong supporters of the historic tax credits. This funding would not be available for these historic structures if Springfield did not enable this legislation to continue. Over the last 2 years, we've seen 8 noteworthy projects in the downtown and warehouse district with close to $40 million invested. The projects totaled nearly 75,000 square feet of new commercial development and over 150 new residential units. Additionally, in the last couple of years, several new businesses were created in newly renovated buildings downtown, including Tannins and Hops, Obed and Isaacs, Time, Freedom Inc., Bearded Owl, Gone in 60, Escape Games, Zion Coffee, Rambler, Warehouse on State, Widecast, Academy of Screen Printing and Awards, and Haggerty Industrial Supply. We've also witnessed the relocation of Riddell's Brewery, One Fire Media, and the Farnsworth Group to our warehouse district. There's a proposed indoor climbing gym planned for the warehouse district. It's nearly a $4 million development that will command many more visitors into downtown. With the Caterpillar Visitor Center, the Peoria Riverfront Museum included, it's no wonder that our downtown and warehouse district are bringing thousands of visitors and their dollars to our city. Not in the warehouse district, but also worthy of mention is the largest trampoline park in the country at Elevate in Pioneer Park. Elevate's become a huge attraction with over 30,000 square feet of indoor trampoline excitement, and their local owners have plans to expand into other communities in Illinois and beyond. When it comes to entertainment, we need to acknowledge and support the groups responsible for escalating live music performances to new heights. Our river front has never seen the number and variety of shows that we did last year, thanks to Inked Entertainment and Tailgate and Tallboys and other local promoters. The Convention and Visitors Bureau has estimated that the economic impact of the 2017 Riverfront concerts, Tailgate and Tallboys, brought more than $5.7 million into our community. Let's hear it for those promoters. I've talked to Rory O'Connor, who's the owner of the Castle Theater in Bloomington and the new owner of the former Limelight, which will now be known as Monarch Music Hall. And he's very anxious to keep growing the live music scene in Peoria, both at the Monarch and downtown. The energy and dollars that these shows brought to our city are much needed and notably boost our quality of place experiences in Peoria. Peoria's downtown and warehouse district would not be where it is today without this building, without our Civic Center. There are few cities our size that can showcase an arena, a theater, and over 110,000 square feet of exhibit space all under one roof. It's challenging to operate, but sets Peoria apart from many of our peer cities for the opportunities that present themselves because of the Peoria Civic Center. The Civic Center also brings major dollars in our community, into our community, estimated at over $40 million just last year. So how about a big thank you to the Civic Center Authority? We'd also like to thank the Civic Center and for PNC for teaming up again this year for Winterfest, which is the ice rink outside that really sees a lot of activity. Many times we may not realize all of the things that we have going for us here in Peoria, but the Peoria Area Convention and Visitors Bureau does know. And they've produced several impressive videos highlighting Peoria. I hope you've had a chance to see some. We're going to let you check this one out real quick.
Our city knows something about innovation. We were the country's original proving ground. If it played in Peoria, it could play anywhere. Today, nearly 100 years after the phrase was first spoken, its spirit remains. While we celebrate our history, we are hard at work building our future, a future centered around the renewal of downtown Peoria. Each district has its distinct character, its strengths, and its opportunities. Together, they make up a community that is strong and diverse. The true measure of a city is its people. Ours are hard workers, risk takers and innovators, dreamers and doers, focused on building for the future without losing sight of today. To build a great city, it takes all of us.
Thanks to Don Welch and his team over at the CVB for all their efforts to bring a lot of visitors and money into our community. Another amenity that we take for granted is our own General Wayne A. Downing Peoria International Airport. In 2017, PIA achieved its third busiest year in the airport's history, serving over 635,000 passengers. We're one of only 2 downstate airports served by 4 airlines, with daily non-stops to 4 of the 5 most connected airports in the United States. And they fly more non-stop destinations than any other Illinois airport outside of the city of Chicago. The flow of goods and cargo through our airports continues to grow and be an important boost to our local economy. In fact, total freight through Peoria grew 26% in 2017 over the previous year. Now we need to convince the federal government to send us additional customs officers so we can increase our airport's international opportunities. Don't forget, our airport is also the home to the renowned 182nd Airlift Wing and the Illinois Army National Guard. This would be a great time to thank all the servicemen and women, both active and retired, who are here with us today. Will you please stand and be recognized? Thank you all for your service to our country. Folks, across the industry, airports our size are shrinking because the communities that they're in are not supporting them. We need to continue to buck that trend. Please give strong consideration to using our airport for all your needs, whether it's business or personal. We'd like to thank Gene Olson and also to his board for working hard to provide an unbelievable quality of service for us here in Central Illinois. High-quality air transportation is critical to a community our size, and road infrastructure is too. I hope everyone is beginning to see the progress as we continue to invest in our local infrastructure. You'll recall that in 2016, the council more than doubled our $4 million annual road budget to $9.2 million. Last year, we saw the completion of Folkers Avenue, the Radnor Alta Roundabout, and Sheridan Road from McClure to Eleanor, among other smaller projects. This year, you'll see a $4 million reconstruction of University from Pioneer Parkway to Town Line, continuing work on Northmore Road from University to Allen, Harvard Avenue reconstruction, Western Avenue reconstruction, plus the demolition of Riverfront Village, among other things. Hats off to our hardworking Public Works Department under the leadership of Director Scott Reese and Deputy Director Cy Maroon. So now I want to call on all of us to exhibit strong loyalty to our local businesses throughout the year and the coming years. Sometimes it's really quick and easy to jump on the internet for purchases, but the negative impact those sales have on our community, and especially locally owned businesses, is very real. The loss of local sales taxes attributed to internet sales, those are our dollars, our local dollars attributed to internet sales, is $4 million a year. And these are dollars that we need to provide police and fire protection to keep maintaining our streets and operate our city. As you can see from the slide that we're putting up here, this is a comparison. For every $100 spent in a local store, brick and mortar store, the state receives $5, our city receives $2.75, the county receives 75 cents, and 50 cents goes to schools. That same $100 spent online still gives $5 to the state, but then it gives a quarter to Chicago, 0.009 cents to the city, and 0.003 cents to the county. You don't have to get a calculator to figure out the damage that this is doing to our local budgets. I hope to see the Chamber of Commerce engage our city in a Buy Local 365 campaign, or whatever they want to call it, but urge all of us to patronize and support locally owned business. Consciously think local first. I'd also like to mention that County Board member Rachel Parker is working on an initiative not only to help local business, but stressing local minority business owners too. So if you know Rachel, reach out to her. If you don't know how to reach out to her, she's easy to find. She's on the Peoria County Board and doing a great job. Speaking of doing an outstanding job, Jeff Griffin, who came to our community a number of years ago, is doing an outstanding job as the CEO at the Chamber. And his performance really is critical to the things that we're doing. So please join me in thanking Jeff and the Chamber Board for their leadership. Speaking of the Chamber, Shernika Cagle, who many of us know from the Chamber, did a great job preparing for this event again this year. And I wanted everyone to know that Shernika recently graduated from the prestigious Institute program of the United States Chamber of Commerce. She's a lifelong Peorian, a graduate of Richwoods, and we're really glad that she stayed in Peoria. Shernika, way to go. So as we get near the end, it's really exciting now for me to be able to announce the recipient of this year's Mayor's Community Service Award. It should come as no surprise, and I'm honored to be able to present OSF Healthcare System with this year's award. OSF Healthcare System is the largest employer in our city and one of the largest healthcare systems in the state. They employ over 20,000 employees in their 13 hospitals. Their physician enterprise boasts over 1,200 quality physicians. They are the leader in cardiovascular, neurological, and pediatric service lines. OSF has been a part of the Peoria community for over 140 years, beginning when Bishop Spalding first called upon the Sisters of the Third Order of St. Francis to come to Peoria to care for the sick and the needy. The commitment of OSF to Peoria over the last decade could not be clearer. From construction of the $300 million milestone building in 2010 to the development of the Jump Trading Simulation and Education Center in 2013 and the OSF Innovation Center in 2016. And now to the decision to locate their corporate headquarters in downtown Peoria. I can think of no organization more deserving of recognition as this year's Outstanding Community Service Award winner. I'd like to invite, I know Bob Searing's here, I'd like to invite Bob and anybody else to come up and accept the award on behalf of OSF. Well, as you know, if you've come to this event, every year I attempt to engage you all in some way to make our great city even better. Last year I asked for help to put more focus on the needs of the neediest in our community, and particularly those living in 61605. Many of you did so, some quietly, others in a bold way, but I hope you'll all continue to provide support, because the challenges are still there, they're still real. And I think we're taking significant small steps, but we need to make them strides this year. In addition to Buy Local 365, another way for us to improve our city is by getting involved in the neighborhoods that you live in. All neighborhoods in Peoria are important, and we should all take pride in them. Consider taking a strong, active role in your neighborhood association, and if you don't have one, start one. If you need to know more information about how to start a neighborhood association, please contact our community development department. They'll be glad to help you. I'd also like to ask for citywide participation in PCAV, Peoria Community Against Violence. Most of you have probably heard of PCAV, but many say, who is PCAV? PCAV is all of us. Is there anyone in this room who would say they do not want to work towards eliminating violence in our communities? PCAV is making a strong commitment to the safety and vitality of every area of our community. We collectively are PCAV. Let me recognize, please, Terry Burnside and other community members who are here today. They're working hard to grow PCAV. I'd like to encourage everyone here to take an active role, as I said, regardless of where you live or work. Terry and his team will have information by the exits about how you can get involved. We'd like to get your contact information and really encourage everybody to participate. Terry Burnside and company, I think you're right over here. Stand up and take a bow. Good job. In closing, sigh of relief for you, not me. In closing, I'd like to thank my fellow council members who are here today for all their hard work and dedication to our city. I'd also like to thank our city manager, Patrick Urich, and his staff for all they do to make Peoria great. We have many challenges, but we have a strong assemblage of elected officials and professional staff working to meet those challenges. I'd also like to wish the best of luck to our former Assistant City Manager, Chris Setti, in his new role as the CEO of the Greater Peoria EDC. And I'd also like to thank our Fire Chief, Chuck Laus, whose last day at the helm is today. Chief, thanks for your leadership over the last 4 years. And congratulations are in order to Ed Olahai, who will be our new chief as of tomorrow. Chief Olahai has a distinguished 29-year career as a Peoria firefighter, and we're looking forward to him taking the department to the next level. And again, thank you to OSF for their commitment to Peoria and their plans for revitalizing the Chase Bank block. Last couple of quick thank yous. I'd like to thank Stacy Peterson, the Chief Information Officer for the city, who did a lot of work and did all the work, frankly, to put the PowerPoint together. Also to Todd Pilon here from WTVP, who is helping with all the technical spots. I would feel very bad if I did not recognize the matriarch of my family, Sue Ardis, who is here with us today. 83 and still going strong. Here with, well, they would have never guessed you were 83, Mom, so it's okay. Here with a couple of my sisters and also my oldest daughter, Domini, who is with us today. So to them, to you, here's to a strong and blessed year for all of us. Thanks for the part that you play in making Peoria a place that we love to call our home. God's blessings to you all, and thank you for attending. Have a great afternoon.
What a great event, and as always, there's lots to celebrate in this city, and we do all look forward to the year ahead. Jim Ardis, we want to thank you from the bottom of our heart. You've always been there for all of our citizens, our companies, and the Chamber of Commerce, Mayor, so we thank you very much for that. Let's give him a round of applause. I'd like to thank Tracy Coker and Dewberry again for the very generous sponsorship of this luncheon today. And I'll leave you with this. You know, tomorrow's February 1st, and as we head into Black History Month, Dr. Martin Luther King gave us a very sage and good quote, I think, that's relevant to all of us here in Peoria over the next year. He said, life's most persistent and urgent question is, quote, what are you doing for others, end quote. It's a simple reminder for all of us. Let's look for opportunities to serve each other in the year ahead. Thanks for coming, and have a great day.